How are you? From wherever you are watching us, there is the People's Bench. We are coming to you from Muthu Silver Springs Hotel here in Nairobi, a very nice place where you can just come and relax with your family. And for much more, you can scan the QR code right on your screen. I am your host, Fred Ogweno, and I'm privileged to have Dr. Harun Isaac Hassan. He's a political analyst. He says it the way it is, without mincing words. Tonight, we are focusing on matters the road to 2027. Is Kalonzo Musyoka the man of the moment? Is it Kalonzo's time? Is he gonna make President William Arap Ruto a one-term president? We are here to answer that and much more. How are you, my brother?
Fine, my brother. How are you?
I'm good,
Thank
Daktari.
you very much.
Karibu sana.
Asante sana.
Thank you so much for creating time for the People's Bench.
Asante sana.
It is the bench.
We love the bench.
Thank you. The bench by the people, for the people, from the people, and with the people.
And with the people.
Thank you so much, my brother. Now, allow me to give you time. Maybe you can say something about the death of the late former Prime Minister Raila Amolo Odinga. I know that you did a lot of things working with him behind the scenes. Maybe you are one word before we get to the real issues.
We pray for his family. Raila Amolo Odinga was a honorary elder who has brought this country to where it is now, and is someone to be remembered, I know, for many years to come. And a lot will going to appear in the literatures and books in this country, where our children in this country and children of this world will talk about. And I'm sure Baba, him being known for the man of the people, I think he has left a gap, a big gap. We are not seeing people of the men of the people at this time when we need them most. When Baba is gone, then now we are all orphans. And you remember the president said that Kenyans are all orphaned now that Baba is gone, meaning Baba was different from all other leaders that we have ever had in this country. And the only thing I'll say is that we pray for his family, and we hope that the party he left behind, which I believe the party's strength was Baba, will still remain strong. As I see several quarters now speaking loud from different corners, if Baba was alive, some of these people will have never even attempted to talk about ODM. And when Baba speaks and he says, Ebungojeni, and everybody goes to silent. I remember during 2022 rallies, Baba could just stand and he makes the news. He has not spoken. He just stood in a gathering, and the news is already up there. So we will remember Baba for many things: development, constitutional change, democracy, name it. All those that you hear about Baba, and those things that have been read during his burial in his urology reflects clearly what kind of person he was. And therefore, he's someone that we will live to remember.
Thank you, my brother. What comes into your mind when you see the long queues of people taking to his grave side just to give him the last and the final respect. They are still going there in their big numbers, almost 1 month after his burial.
Actually, Al Jazeera recognized that. International mainstream media said that that is one of the most visited grave in the entire world.
Baba's grave.
Baba's grave. That tells you Baba was unique. Agwambo. The word Agwambo, which sometimes I was told when I was working in Nyanza, is mysterious. And therefore, Baba's from his lifetime to his death time, and even after his death, is mysterious. And therefore, I think the fact that a hero was lost, everybody opted to give his last respect. And that indicates that the kind of person he was. Many of the people we know, their eulogies are only read during the time of their burial. Baba's eulogy is still being read every other day by different people, including people from different ethnic backgrounds, people from different cultural background, people from different religious background. And by the way, you will find a Chinese going to Baba's grave. You will find an Indian going there. You will find a European or an Englishman or a Dutch going to see the grave of Baba. Not even looking into Africa, all of them have visited that grave. Call it from which country. That indicates that he was a Pan-Africanist. He was a global leader. And he is a man who has left legacy behind in this country and the globe at large. So it's Baba, someone we will live to remember forever, as I said earlier on.
It seems like even death itself is a prize at a Monday. I mean, it has taken.
When it comes to issues of death, me, I'm of Islamic faith, and we believe that death will always catch up with us. So I may not so much dwell into that. But what is crucial in this point in life is for someone to be remembered what he did when he was alive. The value that he has added in the architects of this development in this world. The generations that we are thinking he has lived with, and the generations to come, what benefits he has left for. So generally, I think in simple terms, it's an encyclopedia of the globe. That's what I will have said for Baba.
Thank you, my brother. And before we shift gears to matters politics, allow me to remind you to subscribe kindly on our YouTube at The People's Bench, so that anytime we have this kind of conversation, you will be able to get the notification. We are shifting gears to matters politics, the road to 2027. My brother, is Kalonzo the man of the moment?
Yes, he is. Kalonzo is the man of the moment, but for the wrong reason. Not to offset President William Ruto as a one-term president, but I think he has got an opportunity as Baba is gone. So he's the most senior elder and political leader in the opposition at the moment. And probably he will be the man of the occasion. That does not contribute to the fact that his political arithmetics does not look very good, simply because he has serious opponents within the opposition. Rigathi Gachagua wants to become the kingpin of the mountain. Beside that, he wants to be recognized as leader of opposition, as Baba's role is vacant now. Secondly, we have Matiang'i, who has also been pushed by the former president on issues of his political career, and he's trying to front him for possible Jubilee candidate. for presidential race. Thirdly, we have the bloc from the Western, Wamalwa and the likes, who have lost grip of the Western, who have lost grip of the larger political arena, but still remain relevant in the opposition. Don't forget the running mate of the late Honorable Raila Odinga in 2022, the Iron Lady, Martha Karua. She also wants to be recognized as a senior political leader, as a senior kingmaker in the nation. And the fact that she was a running mate for Baba, she feels like she is now the right one to contest and lead the opposition. So there are crowds of people who, each of them are looking for leadership and not recognizing Kalonzo as the most senior political leader within that quarter. And the fact that that exists, then most likely he will not going to have these quotas on his side. If he loses that, then irrelevance of his race appears very clearly. So one thing that we should understand is that Kalonzo Musyoka, the highest he has ever gone in politics was to become the vice president. Then, when we were having Kibaki. Now, in the modern politics, after the new constitution, 2010, Kalonzo has been nothing. He has never had any opportunity to be in the government, meaning he is the longest serving opposition leader with no portfolio, because Baba has been dominating on that arena, and Baba was very smart to the extent that he becomes an opposition, then he joins the government. So both sides, he has played it very well. So my thinking is that if we go into the normal political arithmetics in the country, that Kalonzo might have a crowd from Ukambani, but he may not pull any other crowd from any other quarters, because for him to pull the central Kenya, Rigathi Gachagua must say, yeye tosha. At least he gets an opportunity to pull the crowd that was following Rigathi Gachagua. And Rigathi Gachagua is unlikely to take a bold step like the way Baba did when he said Kibaki tosha. Secondly, the fact that there are two kingpins in the mountain, particularly central Kenya, and the former president is also playing a serious role in ensuring that he is more recognized from that quarter and remain relevant in Kenyan politics. Of course, he's our retired president, but sometimes, you could decide to be a retiree who doesn't want to do anything else and go enjoy his retirement benefit, or he could be a retiree who wants to have a block that he commands, so that when he wants this block to decide on who will be who, then he can advise and say, this is where I want you guys to go. So, and most likely because of his age, that's what he wants. He's still a young man. Then, so the rift between Rigiji and the former president Uhuru Kenyatta might give him a big challenge in getting at least a block from the mountain. Then, of course, there is the deputy president who has the powers at the moment, who has influence at the moment because of the fact that he's the deputy president of the Republic of Kenya. Itself is a privilege for the people from the mountain, particularly the upper Mount Kenya region, the northern part, which is dominated by the kinsmen of the deputy president, Professor Kithure Kindiki. And there is also another theory which is coming up very clearly, which could be a very difficult thing for the mountain people to be together, which gives also a clear opportunity in securing the second term for our current president, His Excellency Dr. William Ruto, is that all through the mountain bloc has been supporting central Kenya. meaning they supported the first president, Hayati Kenyatta. They supported Mwai Kibaki, the late Mwai Kibaki. They supported Uhuru Kenyatta. So it should be their time to be supported. It's not must that all presidents must come from central Kenya. And that is what the people in upper mountain region, that is the Embus and the Merus on the other side, minus the central Kenya, are thinking that it is their time for their brothers from central Kenya to support them. If they don't support them, means then they don't want anything good for them. Otherwise, that block will only be relevant if there is that exchange of this time it is your time and next time it will be our time.
Thank
and
you.
That way they are able to support each other. But I don't see Kalonzo Musyoka unseating President William Ruto because of all those critical factors that you are hearing I mentioned.
Thank you. Tell me, Kalonzo, if he's given the mantle to fly the opposition flag, he is gonna face the shrewd politician in the name of William Samoei Arap Ruto. And how can Kalonzo reinvent himself? Many people say that he's not bold enough, that he stands for nothing, that even when he speaks the other day about the formation of IEBC, to an extent that he was able to threaten that they were going to form a people's IEBC. People are still waiting. Kenyans don't take Kalonzo seriously. They don't take him serious.
I think you have said it very well. The term watermelon is not a name that was given yesterday to Kalonzo Musyoka. Because of his indecisive way of doing his politics, earned him that name, the watermelon. We are not the ones who have given him that name. That indicates that he cannot make a decision, a solid decision, and take to the street and ask Kenyans to follow him. So by any means, he's not a strong politician. He is just a leader who could influence his ethical backyard so that they are able to respect him and follow his directions or advice. But politically, he cannot come very bold and tell Kenyans, hey guys, I am here now. And this is the time we must make change. And you know, in politics, if you are not authoritative, in politics, if you are not decisive, in politics, if you don't command, you will not go anywhere. Politicians are not known to be soft. Politicians are people who are rake. Politicians are everywhere globally. All politicians are people who stand on their feet. I think you saw Babu Owino. Babu Owino is a solid politician. He has understood politics. The fact that he was a student leader in the University of Nairobi gave him a strong strength and made him understand politics is not about bembelezeling people. Politics is about standing your position and fighting for it. And sometimes you may even lose your life. But that's not Kalonzo Musyoka. So the diplomatic approach or the diplomatic Kalonzo may not be a good competitor for our president. My thinking is that this will be his last bullet, I guess, if he gets an opportunity. But he may not get that opportunity to carry the flag for the opposition. There's something that Kenyans don't understand. What happens in the boardroom and what people see outside are totally different. Boardrooms, people don't like each other. These guys who come to press statement, everybody is communicating different things. If you know what people say without non-spoken messages, you will not believe that none of them are together. And sometimes when some makes a bold statement, you'll start undermining the other one. So what happens in the boardroom and what Kenyans want to see from the politicians are not the same things that they see. In the boardroom, people discuss things and sometimes they go into heads on and they fight. But for purposes of addressing the mindset of the followers, they pretend to be together. So most likely, Martha Karua will not going to accept. Trigiji will not going to accept. His Excellency President Uhuru Kenyatta's candidate, that is Matiang'i, will not going to accept because he has a backup from the former president. You know, having a backup from former president is not a small thing. He has already a very good start. So basically, I think Kalonzo Musyoka is not the right competitor.
Tell me, my brother,
for the president.
Yes, the former president Uhuru Kenyatta is backing Matiang'i, but he could not help Raila when he was president to defeat William Ruto. What makes them think that now there is out that he do not have the state powers, he do not have the so-called deep state, that now he can help Matiang'i to become president, what he could not do to Raila when he was in office?
I think one thing that we should understand is that first, in Africa, it is very difficult to unseat a sitting president. And presidents' opinions become relevant when they are exiting the office, and that's when they can make the next president. So the fact that we did not see any precedents on such a trajectory of sitting president being unseated in Africa, I think that's one strength, one block. Secondly, you have already said now the president has all the machineries. He may not actually need any machineries to win his seat. I think he will play his game very well. The fact that last time when we all thought that Baba will become the president because of the so-called the government machineries, and Kenyans spoke and say it's not the government machineries that make presidency, I think has opened the mind of politicians that they do not rely on anyone. You only fight your own cause. And that way, if the Wananchis believe in your songs, they will sing with you. If they don't, then you are left outside. And most likely, I think, even Baba's bid was spoiled by the system. So they have already, addressed, or rather, they have already modeled him as a president. And you remember the convoy, the kind of convoys he was running when he comes for a function with the presidential escorts. So sometimes some of the machinery spoils for you. So I tend to think His Excellency Uhuru Kenyatta is trying to introduce Matiang'i into the political arena. I may not know the main reason, but I think he's trying to show Sigiji that he can bring another competitor of his, and probably to spoil for all the opposition. But again, I think from the lookout, I don't see any strong opposition that can unseat the current government.
Tell me about the future of ODM party and Baba's background, that influence of Luo Nyanza and the backyard of Baba in 2027. How significant are they going to be?
I think first, it is important for us to acknowledge that Baba, with his ODM party as a party leader, had changed many of the politicians currently we know their lives. He is the one who has formed them to what they are. Baba had a backyard where he had a say. Where? In Luo Nyanza, whoever he says will become a leader there becomes the leader. That built a certain cloud that if you are not with Baba, you will not become anything. That has been pulled out now. And now we will get real politicians from Nyanza to see whether they are able to secure their own seats convince my brothers from Nyanza, who are all of them learned and they want people to logically convince them, than other Kenyans who probably you could just narrate some stories and they take it. The people from Nyanza, the fact that they have their own way of doing things and they have their own lifestyle gives them all the privilege to screen who becomes their leader. And I think most of the current leaders from Nyanza will be casualties unless they are exceptionally good and they can convince their people. There are those who have never campaigned. In Nyanza, you could just stay with Baba. And if Baba likes you,
that is it.
That is it. You are a member of parliament. What happens now? Baba is not there. So there's that gap now. There's uncertainty for the sitting ones, and there's a bit of cloud of happiness for those who have been suppressed because they have not got an opportunity to showcase their ability, and Baba did not see them because others were barring them from them. Meaning then, now it is them and the public. It is them and the citizen of Nyanza. Then Baba could also now, he has extended his generosity and his strength in other areas, and he could fight for you. Like Mombasa region, he has fought for the people from Mombasa to the extent that now they were ODM dam. Meaning, Baba says, we want an ODM governor, and it becomes an ODM governor. Meaning then he has extended his generosity, he has extended his political games that others never understood very well to even far ends of the country, to the extent that now people knew when Baba says it is you who becomes the leader, you become the leader.
If President Ruto was to go, or rather to pick a deputy president from Nyanza, whom do you think he could pick?
I don't think, as a political analyst, I don't think if president will want to do that. And simply because we have a big, as a politician, the president sees Mount Kenya region as a block which is a threat to his politics. And now that the deputy president comes from the mountain, he will not want to have enmity or unpopularity from the upper or northern Mount Kenya region. And, he is very sure that although he will going to get significant amount of votes from the central region of the mountain, he is not very sure that he will get all of them. Most of the leaders might not follow him. And that means then for him to play his political games, he must hold together the upper mountain region, the northern mountain region, that is the Embu and the Meru region, so that he does not lose the grip of the mountain. But then, so if that arithmetic does not work, what surety does he have that if he gives out the deputy president to Luo Nyanza, that he will going to get all the votes from Luo Nyanza in the absence of Baba? There's no certainty there. Number two, I know there were stories going on that we are not going anything less than either the president or the deputy. But in our tradition, there is what is the proverb which says that if you want a cow, ask for a camel. And if you want a goat, ask for a cow. And therefore, what the ODM leadership was trying to imply is that the seats that already we have been given, and we know which are earmarked for the Luo Nyanza region, should not be interfered with the fact that Baba is gone. So I think that's a political game. And what they are trying to play is that ask for big, so that you are told, hey, cool down. You have these two critical positions, energy, treasury. These are very lucrative. They are called the senior ministers. You have these two. So what do you want from a deputy? So deputy will belong to the people there. Then What happens if you drop Deputy President Professor Kindiki? Meaning you lose the whole of the region. That is the mountain region. So the politics of 2027 will be dominated by Nyanza and the mountain. So if you lose grip of these two, either of them, and you are not able to split them, then you will lose. So no politician will ever play a game that will going to destroy his political gains. So I tend to think that mathematics will not come in, but people will debate about it until the right time comes.
What do you make of Governor Gladys Wanga, the Homa Bay governor? She's the ODM National Party chairperson, and she's really positioning herself. Some people are saying that she could be
the deputy president.
The deputy. But even if she's not picked, what do you make of her future politically?
There's a serious arithmetics in the future of the people who are currently holding offices under ODM. Most of them were beneficiaries of Baba. So the question is, what has she done as a governor in her county
of Homa Bay
to warrant her that she can become the next governor again, or she can be lifted for another position? People will going to look at the accountability aspect of what you have done, rather than just pledging loyalty to Baba and then you get the seat. So that is one. Number two, she can become a deputy president. I mean, what's wrong with her becoming a deputy president? In any case, deputy president is not a lucrative position. You are deputizing the president, and therefore you are an assistant to the president. So any role that you are given by the president is what you go and do it. So in any case, that will not going to stop her doing that work. So she is able to do that job. She is able to do the job. But in politics, there is always loss and gains. And the concept of the loss and gains is that if the current Luo Nyanza do not remain a block in executing their 2027 political game, they will be the losers.
Is it in the interest of President William Ruto that the Luo Nyanza remains as a unit?
Yes, absolutely. Sorry, it will reduce the pressure of the opposition from his side. Just imagine you have the Luo Nyanza opposing you, the central Kenya is opposing you. You get the point. And then, of course, the undecisive region where we have multiple leaders in Western Kenya. You know, in Western Kenya, they are very liberal. Everyone has his own. Paranya has his own people. Wetangula has his own people. Mudavadi has his own people. Now, anatembea upande yake. Kwa hivyo, we have big problem. So, any sitting president will want to minimize problems so that he can have less pressure opposition than having a lot of pressure from all quarters. So I think the concentration of the opposition is likely to be from central, and the president is likely to drop an olive branch for the orphans of Nyanza. No, of Nyanza. So that he must say, Baba has left you, but I'm your Baba now. You will have your share. Let's build the government. And that's likely, the things that are likely to happen.
What is the kind of, even as you are winding up, what formation do you think is capable of giving President William Ruto a run for his money?
Yes, that is a very good question. Having one opposition and everybody, all these quarters that are defining themselves as opposition leaders, to agree to one person, and then have a proper plan that can, convince the larger population, including the Gen Zs, because they are the young generation who wants people to convince them. But the way the political opposition leaders are behaving, Gen Zs cannot run after multiple people. They wanted a bloc. You remember when they defined themselves as partyless, leaderless, and tribeless. So if someone would have pulled up himself and say, then this is the Kenya we want, and the Kenya that Gen Zs want is the Kenya we want, and all of them come up and say, this is where we want, can we go on that journey? Then things will be perfect. But from the onset of the way the politicians are behaving, if they are not coming together, the opposition, then I don't think if they're going to make any threat to the sitting president.
Kenyans of Somali origin, or rather the Northeastern bloc, how influential are they? How crucial are they in the coming elections?
First and foremost, I must confess that people from northern Kenya will never vote for anyone else so long as President William Ruto is on the ballot paper. Why? Is because almost 60 years we have been marginalized. For what? 3 things. 1, getting your national identity. And we know very well Somalis live in the largest part of this country. 3/4 of this country is in the northern region, and Somalis actually live there. The Turkanas live there. The Boranas live there. So one thing that we appreciate is that, 1, now we are recognized as citizens, and therefore we can be given our national identity without multiple queries, multiple questions, multiple vetting. So those are something that was a nightmare for all Somalis. And Somalis were getting their IDs, but through dubious means. People were extorting money from there. You remember Natembea once said that if you open up with our IDs for Somalis without vetting, you are welcoming terrorists. You know, Natembea was a beneficiary of cartels of those who are extorting people when they are being given IDs. He was a beneficiary because professional administration were behind that. They were collecting millions from people so that they get IDs. Sometimes
but you have
even
no
your
evidence
money is
about that. We do. No evidence about Natembea.
We do.
Did you see him take the money?
We do. No, that was the structure that was in place. My own family members have paid money in areas where people were being told they are being vetted, and everybody pays 15,000. If you are 10,000 people and you pay 15,000, that is 1 billion shilling or more, 1.5 billion. So, I mean, the system he was running, because he was a professional administration officer to the extent of until he became a professional commissioner. So it's not that we are trying to say it, and that's why he was very loud, because he thinks that the business has stopped for others. That's one. Number 2, from the time I was born up to date, you can see my age, Mandera to Nairobi has been a rough road. If I want to rush today for an emergency, I have to go 3 days on this road.
From here to Mandera?
From here to Mandera. 3 days. With even small car that you think, a four-wheel drive car that you think can accept all trains. But what has happened? President William Ruto said, you cannot live like this. The road has been cleared now. It is going on. And you know how much? It will only take 6 hours for me to get home. 3 days to 6 hours? So we cannot compromise the person who have changed our life for purposes of continuity, because Somalis naturally are born business people. We do not need any handouts from anyone. We will do our business. Thirdly, and which I will put it as a final, is the issue of terrorizing anyone or any Somali who seems to be having wealth or business. How many Somalis have been taken to anti-terror units for terrorist charges, and they have never been terrorists? And then what happens? They are extorted money from them, and they are released. Now we no longer think about that. That fear is gone. Nobody can come to our business. So Somalis are now able to do their own business and build this nation. The business that we do in this country is the one that is holding into the economy of this country. Because when you see the amount of tax collection from Isli Business Center, you cannot compare it to any other thing.
Some people say that you Somalis, you evade taxes, that mko na njia mingi ya mikato sana. That's why you have a lot of money in town.
How?
You are buying every building. Every estate is being bought by Somalis.
Very good. That is very good. Those are hearsays, and those are people who don't understand how people make business. Somalis do business in what is called the trust approach. What happens is that 20 of us or 50 of us contributes together and buy a place, build that place, sell it out. You get triple of your money. Is that money that you have stolen? No, you have made business. You have made business with 100 people. You have also benefited others who have worked in that place. You have also benefited those who bought those properties. Now you have created homes for them. So it's not about what people think. It's just because our modality, our model of business is hybrid. It's not like the way other Kenyans think. You can never become rich as an individual when you do business. Even international words, big companies where people buy shares, 1,000 people buy shares, or even 100,000 people buy shares of companies. The company does the business, and that's how people get their wealth. Without that, in the individualistic approach that most of us in the country you'll never become rich. Your things will be hand to mouth.
You are saying that Somalis and the people of Northeastern or the northern part of Kenya are saying two-term.
Yes, absolutely. We have no any other slogan. Our slogan is two-term.
You can say that.
Of course, two-term. Two-term for President William Ruto. And in essence, after his two-term, we will also demand for another two-term, whoever becomes the president. But that has to come from a good leader within the country.
And some are saying that your population is growing, that soon we are going to have a Somali president.
Yes, we will. Definitely we will have a Somali president. You know why we will have a Somali president?
Tell me.
Every Somali will marry 4 wives, 3 wives, 2 wives minimum.
With 10 children each?
With 10 children each. Why don't we have a larger population? I mean, children are not biscuits. Children are people.
No, Kenya imejaa tayari, daktari. Kenya imejaa, unataka kujaza Kenya imejaa.
No, we still have. No. Tuko na upande yetu, usijali. Tutajenga Nairobi. We will go to our side. There is an empty land in northern Kenya. Once those road infrastructures are made, people will live there. We only expect the government to give us trains, a very efficient mode of transport. We can operate from even Mandera to Nairobi. We do business here daytime. In the evening, you go and stay at home. If we get speed trains, 1 hour, you are in Mandera. So generally, I think people are complaining on issues that themselves can correct, but they are not intending to correct it. If you want to marry only 1 wife, you want to get maximum 3 children, you can't compete with me who has married 4 wives, and each of them probably get as many as God can give us. It's not actually even restricted to 10. If the mother can give up to 12, 13, so be it. So we rarely use family planning. And if we use family planning purposely for medical reason, otherwise, we believe that the more children you have, the more wealth you will get, and the more population that will go into change, the generations to come will be in place.
Thank you so much. I hope you will remember me too.
Thank you very much.
Utafika hata mimi nikuje 2-3 hapo.
Of course, I mean, lazima uchukue wawili, kwanza anza na wawili. Then ndio uendelee kidogo pole mbele huko.
Thank you so much.
Si lazima uanze na 4. It will be very difficult for you to start with 4.
Oh.
So you have to start slowly. 1, 2, 3.
Thank you so much. You are parting short even as we are winding up. Your message to Kenyans?
I think Kenyans, there's only two things that I'll tell Kenyans. One, first and foremost, we love this country we live in. This nation is ours. You know, if you don't have a place, you can't even politic. If you don't have a place, you can't have life to live. So we should not destroy our country, number one. Number two, the way you see this current government is doing their work, looks like they are bringing more changes to the future generation of this country. Look at the issue of housing. I will expect in our informal settlements to completely be changed to skyscrapers, buildings, and people can have a decent homes, which is already something that has been initiated. The only thing I will say is that for 2027, Kenyans, musidaganywe, watu ambaye wanaongea juu ya my people. We want nationalists. We want leaders who talk about Kenyans, not my people. And on that note, make sure 2027, prepare your voters' cards, prepare yourself very well to bring back President William Samoei Arap Ruto.
Thank you so much, Dr. And with that, we come to the end of our conversation tonight. It has been the People's Bench coming to you from Muthu Silver Springs Hotel here in Nairobi. Do not forget to subscribe so that when we have this kind of conversation, you will be able to get the notification. I've been your host, Fred Ogweno, having the privilege to have Dr. Isaac Hassan, who is a political analyst, not just a political analyst, but a straight shooter. He says it the way it is, and is going to be our resident political analyst. You will be able to see him here more often. And until next time, bye-bye. Thank you so much, Dr.
Thank you very much.
We do it again.
Yeah, we'll do it again.
So good.
Thank
How
you.
was the bench?
You. Oh, the bench was hot. The bench was hot, actually.
Oh, my.
Yes.
Thank you. We do it again. Bye-bye.